Hi, I'm Francis.
Hey Francis, I'm Daniel.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
It's okay if I sit down?
Of course.
Okay.
So, how was your journey in today?
My journey in today was, it wasn't too bad. It was a bit mucky outside today. The weather is a bit rainy and a bit stormy-ish. I don't think there's any lightning today, but I just...
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah, it is. It's
Very
been very
rainy, right?
rainy.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that you could make it into our sessions
Yeah,
today.
yeah. Thank you. I'm glad I'm here too.
No problem. So before we start, do you mind if we talk about confidentiality?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it'll be fine.
Okay, so do you know that there are some limits to in order like for confidentiality?
I know what confidentiality is, but what are these limits?
Okay, so basically, if you are at harm to yourself or others, um, like especially like with the vulnerable population, just have to make sure that they're safe as well. Also, if like let's just say vulnerable populations such as age 15 or under, people who are elderly or who are disabled, we just have to make sure that of course they're safe and nothing is compromised or anything like that.
Okay. Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, and as well as of course with your consent, I would like if I need to like have support from my colleagues and that like, do you mind if I like share your information just so that like in case if I do stumble upon something, I would have to talk to my co-work colleagues.
That would be just like if like you needed some extra help with a topic or something
Yeah.
like that. Okay, yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah.
It's understandable.
Okay, and also let's just say if things were also to be subpoenaed in court and that like I would have to definitely like share your file or anything that you do say in this session and show it in court.
Okay,
If
I
that's
understand.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's so. Yeah, I understand.
Okay. Um, okay, so what brings you in today?
You know, it's interesting. I haven't really come to a lot of sessions before. Like it's probably one of my first times coming to a session, and I've been always dealt with it myself. But lately, I've been having issues with school and stuff, and a little bit of home life. A bit of home life is stressing me out, but I think it's getting amplified to make it worse because of school, and there's a lot of stress at school at the moment because there's a lot of homework and a lot of schoolwork just piling on me, and the exam season's coming around, and so I'm very nervous if I'm gonna pass, if I'm gonna fail, if I should drop out next year, if I should stay in, and I'm having these doubts where I don't think I'm good enough for the work, but at the same time, I've always wanted to help people, so I always have this like sense of wanting to help, but I'm at the same time feeling very stressed out with all the work and a lot of homework that's being piled and the exams being piled onto me all at once.
Okay, so to me it seems like there you are feeling overwhelmed because you are going through a lot of things at school
Yeah,
and also your home life as well, right?
yeah,
And right now it's everything's just feeling overwhelming and like these obstacles are like pretty much hard to somewhat overcome. Is that correct?
yeah,
Yeah. Okay. And then also you did tell me that you are aware of things, so basically that's technically a skill that you have, so which is really good. So at least you recognize like what behaviors or like what obstacles you kind of are familiar with in a sense
Yeah.
to overcome things. Is
yeah.
that correct?
Yeah, like a self-awareness type
Yeah.
of thing. Like, yeah, I feel like I'm a bit self-aware at times, and I try to keep positive, and I try to keep persistent in pushing through these obstacles. But some days it's just very hard, and some days I have a hard time catching my footing, I guess.
Yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense, and I empathize with that because I used to be a student myself, and yeah, I know how it can get challenging, but at least you are aware that you do know where to get resources or help for your
Yeah.
obstacles. So, um, tell me like have you felt like this in the past, or like what are some
Uh,
coping mechanisms you
I've
do have?
in the past I have I've had stressful situations in the past, and I've had that same type of thought, whether it be in school, if it wasn't in school, it's just work life, or just in life in general, where I wake up, I'm like, why wake up some days, like some days what's the point of pushing forward? Some days I kind of get stressed out sometimes. In the past, I used to work out a lot, and I don't work out much anymore because I've never really had any time. And when I get home, I'm usually very tired, and I don't sleep much sometimes. So like that kind of lies into not being able to work out much anymore. But that's one of the coping mechanisms I used to do. But then I started writing a lot more, writing more poetry, and I sometimes play video games to try to keep my mind off it, and or at least delay it for a little bit so I can just have some peace in my mind. But that's a coping mechanism I used to do, is to write poetry, and to basically I play video games sometimes.
Okay, so um, from basically what you've told me is that like you use time to yourself, and pretty much like you recognize that when you are feeling overwhelmed, and that you tend to just take a breather, and that is that correct?
Yeah, I kind of try to step back in a way and trying to take a break
Okay.
real quick. Like I know I'm always aware that my work is still there and the stuff I need to do is still there and it still needs to be done. But some days I feel like I need to work on my mental health and my stress management, I guess, and I just need to be able to quickly put it on pause for like a couple hours and just play a video game or write some poetry or something like that.
Okay, so which is good. So at least you are identifying that you do have some coping mechanisms
Yeah.
to overcome with these stressors, and basically like, what if things had to be perfect in a way, like what in a day, like what would your life be?
Like if I woke up tomorrow and
Yeah.
everything was, um, that's an interesting question. I never really thought too much deep into it because I'm a realist most of the time. So it's like, I know if you wake up tomorrow, you can't have like a magically perfect day because nothing's perfect, right? Everything has its imperfections here and there. But if I could just wake up tomorrow and have like I guess, adequate day or good day, I think it would kind of look like where it would be a little bit less stressful and have a little bit less obstacles, and if not less obstacles, but and instead of it being a little bit more obstacles, but have a little bit not as intense obstacles, if that makes sense.
Yeah, so you basically like, so it seems like you want things to be in a like clarified, like in a simpler way.
Yeah, like a bit
No,
more simple.
Yeah, like no like nothing too complex, or like not feeling overwhelmed because of like certain obstacles and such
Yeah,
things.
kind of just have a step back and like,
Okay.
I feel like everything's in my face sometimes. So like having a step back and being able to see everything,
Yeah.
I think would kind of help me. So if I had a perfect day, I think that's what the perfect day would be. I know it's kind of weird,
No,
but
not at all.
because I'm very realistic, so like I know that the problems are always going to be there. But I feel like if I took a step back and I kind of see all the problems in front of me, I might be able to kind of get my foothold on what needs to be done
Mm-hmm.
instead of it being in a cramped room with all of it and not knowing where to start.
Okay, so basically, you like how I said, there are some, like, you recognize like there are achievements there too, because you are aware that you can overcome these obstacles, as well as just to summarize. So pretty much like with home life and school life, things are overwhelming. Things are challenging, but you're still self-aware to finding coping mechanisms in order to achieve things, in a sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Um,
Sorry, that was just my phone.
It's okay. So is there any questions or anything that I haven't clarified or anything you want to talk about before we end the session?
I was just, yeah, no, I kind of, you kind of helped me kind of see things a bit clearly, and you said I was pretty self-aware, and I feel like I am pretty self-aware, and I try to keep optimistic. So you kind of like gave me a kind of a foothold and kind of like a new perspective in a way. You're helping me see the bit more positive side than the negative, right? So
I'm glad that I could empathize with you, and especially like I was a student myself, and I know
Yeah.
how it is, how the
I feel
challenges
that,
are.
I like that you had that similar situation, so you kind of understand similarly what I've been through. So I like that you shared that with me. Thank you.
No
But that
problem.
was, some days it gets stressful, so sometimes I feel like I'm alone. But like I'm glad that you shared with me that I'm not the only one that goes through such a tough time with the exam and stuff like that.
But yeah, no. Again, like I'm glad you have these skills that to overcome these obstacles. So just keep optimistic and keep pushing through. So for today, so basically, so to summarize, we've went through your challenges, your obstacles, pretty much your accomplishments, things that you're self-aware of, your coping mechanisms. Is there anything else?
No, I feel like that's kind of what we've discussed. Like just I had some stress and worries about school and stuff like that. And you kind of helped me understood that, kind of see it from a different point of view, that I do have, and I should be more aware of my. I'm self-aware, but I need to be more self-aware of my self-awareness,
Yeah.
kind of thing. Where you kind of help me see that I am very self-aware, and that I should try to focus more on
the coping mechanisms more. I think. Yeah.
the coping mechanisms helps. Thank you
No
for
problem.
clarifying that. But yeah, I think that's basically all I needed to share with you
Okay.
right now.
Alrighty. Well, it was nice meeting you,
It's
Francis.
nice meeting you too.
And have a good day.
Have a nice day.
Thank you.